For thousands of years, people believed this was magic, miracles, rituals, power said to come from the gods. But behind the light and fire, something else was happening. Illusions, engineering, carefully crafted belief. The people heard the voices of gods, but the voices came from human hands in the dark. The faith was real, the fear was real, the magic was not. These were not divine wonders. They were manufactured miracles. And tonight, we uncover the secrets they never meant you to see. You're watching History Fact Story, where hidden history is told with real facts. If you value work like this, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Now, let's begin. This is number 25, Manufactured Miracles. Between 1200 BCE and 300 CE, people watched rituals they believed came from the gods. Voices in the darkness, statues that moved, fear that appeared from nowhere. But some of these wonders were built by human hands. Archaeologists discovered acoustic tubes inside temple walls, devices that made whispered voices sound like spirits from the underworld. Statues came to life, powered by heat pressure systems and pulley weights hidden behind stone. Fire appeared on command, triggered by concealed oil channels and spark stones. Even the ground shook, created by resonance drums beneath the temple floor. To the people, it felt divine. To the priests, it was authority and obedience. These were not miracles. They were ritual illusions, engineered to look divine. And for centuries, they worked. But inside these temples, illusion was only the first layer. What came next was darker than deception. This is number 24, the Whispering Temples. Between 800 BCE and 200 CE, believers entered these halls, seeking answers from the gods. Then a voice spoke from the shadows, not from the sky, but from tunnels carved inside the stone. Archaeologists discovered bronze voice tubes inside these temples, devices that turned a whisper into a ghostly echo. Priests spoke unseen, their words bending through echo chambers and curved passages. The sound arrived distorted, distant, inhuman. To the people, it was the voice of a spirit. But behind the wall, it was strategy, observation, and power. Before the ritual, priests learned a person's fears, grief, secrets. So when the spirit spoke, it knew exactly what to say. It wasn't prophecy. It was acoustics, psychology, and obedience. But inside these temples, some rituals moved beyond sound, into practices far more dangerous and far more hidden. This is number 23, the Oracle's Deception. From 700 BCE to 200 CE, rulers, generals, and kings traveled here, seeking answers from the gods. They believed the oracle could see the future, but her prophecies were crafted to never be wrong. One famous prophecy told a king, "If you cross this river, a great empire will fall." He crossed it. He thought it meant his enemy would collapse. Instead, his own empire fell. The prophecy was vague, so any outcome proved it right. Before the ritual, temple attendants gathered information. Politics, local rumors, military plans, personal fears. What sounded like prophecy was often intelligence, repackaged as destiny. Power listened, because belief made the words unchallengeable. It wasn't the future being seen. It was language, engineered to never fail. But some rituals went beyond words, into choices that demanded sacrifice and silence. This is number 22, Fear of the Invisible. From 900 BCE to 400 CE, leaders and priests used curses as weapons of obedience. People believed that unseen punishment waited for anyone who disobeyed. These curses named your family, your children, your future. Thousands of lead curse tablets have been found, sealed inside wells, graves, and city walls, placed there to make fear feel permanent. A ritual was spoken, and the fear did the rest. Coincidence became proof. Misfortune became evidence of divine punishment. And the more people believed, the stronger the curse became. Leaders didn't need soldiers. They had fear. Fear of illness, fear of loss, fear of the unseen. And obedience followed. But in some places, fear was not enough. Some rituals demanded sacrifice, not just belief. This is number 21. Blood for power. From 1500 BCE to 300 CE, sacrifices were performed in temples and city squares. They were said to honor the gods, to protect the world, to keep chaos away. But sacrifice was rarely about faith. Many victims were prisoners, rivals, debtors, or political enemies, chosen to send one message: disobey. And this is what happens to you. Rituals wrapped punishment in holy language. Fear became devotion. Violence became obedience. And when leaders called it sacred, no one could question it. It wasn't magic. It was political fear, disguised as faith. But inside some temples, sacrifice was only the surface. What happened beyond these walls was even more dangerous. You're watching History Fact Story, where dark history is told with real facts. If you value work like this, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now, we continue. This is number 20, the poisoned healers. Across the ancient world, priests created potions they called magic. They said these drinks opened the spirit, revealed hidden visions, connected people to the gods. But chemical analysis shows many contained opium, henbane, mandrake, alcohol, and toxic plant extracts. People felt light, dizzy, euphoric, terrified. To them, it felt like a spiritual awakening. To the priests, it was chemistry. Some doses were mild, others were dangerous. Rituals that revealed truth, sometimes destroyed bodies and minds. When visions went wrong, they called it divine judgment. It wasn't magic. It was chemicals, drugs, and risk disguised as faith. But some rituals did not alter the mind. They altered the body. This is number 19, the Night of Trance. Across the ancient world, rituals unfolded under sound, smoke, and flame. Music struck the body like a drum, rhythm repeating again and again. Voices merged, breathing synchronized, minds began to blur. Modern research shows repetitive rhythm can trigger trance states, changing heart rate, altering perception, heightening emotion. Incense thickened the air, smoke reduced oxygen, senses grew distorted. Flames flashed against stone, light fractured into motion, bodies turned, faster, deeper, until thought slipped into sensation. To the people, visions felt real. To the priests, it was psychology. Emotion replaced reason. The crowd moved as one mind. Then, the drums stopped. Silence felt like command. It wasn't magic. It was music, breath, heat, and fear, shaping the human mind. But some rituals did not stop at trance. They demanded loyalty and silence. This is number 18, the hidden language of symbols. Across the ancient world, everyday objects were declared sacred. They were said to hold power, protection, divine authority. But the power was not in the object. Many holy relics were made from ordinary materials: wood, clay, stone, nothing supernatural at all. Meaning was placed onto them through symbols, stories, and ritual language. A staff became authority. A crown became divinity. A robe became law. Without belief, it was nothing. With belief, it controlled nations and lives. Fear guarded it. Tradition protected it. Obedience followed it. Power did not come from objects. It came from the meaning people were taught to see inside them. It wasn't magic. It was story, ritual, and belief turned into power. But some symbols were never meant for the public. They belonged only to those inside secret circles of power. This is number 17, the magicians who never existed. From 500 BCE to 600 CE, stories appeared across empires about men with supernatural power. They healed the sick, controlled nature, spoke with the gods. But some of these figures were never real at all. Historians discovered the same miracle stories reused across cultures, copied, rewritten, renamed, reshaped to serve new rulers. A mythic magician became proof that a king ruled by divine destiny. Armies fought in his name. Laws were justified through his story. Truth did not matter. Belief did. Myth shaped identity. Identity created loyalty. And loyalty controlled nations. It wasn't magic. It was storytelling written to shape the world. But some stories were not just legends. They were secrets, preserved only for the elite. This is number 16, the secret you weren't meant to know. Across ancient empires, magic did more than impress the crowd. It protected those in power. Belief wasn't an accident. Records show entire institutions built around ritual. Accountants, scribes, guards, informants, all working to maintain belief. Priests shaped law, guided kings, decided what the gods approved. If a ruler needed obedience, magic made it sacred. Doubt became rebellion. Rebellion became sin. Faith controlled the people, and belief protected the powerful. It wasn't magic, it was a system, designed, maintained, and enforced. And beyond this system were circles of influence even fewer were allowed to see. You're watching History Fact Story, where dark history is told with real facts. If you value work like this, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now, we continue. This is number 15. Healing or harm. Across the ancient world, illness was treated with ritual and faith. Some cures brought relief, easing pain, healing wounds, but others involved bloodletting, heated blades, toxic herbs, and painful extraction rituals. If the patient grew weaker, it was said the body was releasing evil. No one dared challenge the healer. When someone recovered, the ritual became proof of divine power. When someone didn't, it was blamed on fate. Success was remembered. Loss was forgotten. It wasn't always medicine. Sometimes it was hope and harm woven together. And in some places, healing was not offered to everyone. It was reserved and controlled. This is number 14, the Forbidden Learners. Across the ancient world, some people asked questions others were afraid to ask. They wondered if miracles had human explanations. Curiosity was treated as rebellion. Historical records show people punished, exiled, even executed, not for destroying belief, but for questioning it. Those who searched for truth were labeled dangerous. Some hid their ideas. Others erased their own work to survive. Belief remained safe. Truth did not, because questioning magic threatened something greater than ritual. It threatened power itself, and power refused to be questioned because in some places, knowledge was not just forbidden, it was owned. This is number 13, love spells and obsession. Across the ancient world, magic wasn't only used to control crowds, it was used to control hearts. Spells promised love, loyalty, desire that could not be escaped. Hundreds of ancient love-binding tablets have been found, naming real people, demanding they feel desire, guilt, and obsession. Victims changed their behavior, believing emotion came from fate. Some became dependent. Some became terrified to leave. Rituals were sold as devotion, but they were weapons of control. Emotion became obedience. Attachment became prison. It wasn't love. It was manipulation, disguised as destiny. Because in some places, magic didn't only control the heart. It controlled entire relationships and entire communities. This is number 12. The marketplace of faith. Across the ancient world, magic was not only practiced, it was sold. Hope became a product, fear became a price. Records show temples and vendors charged for blessings, curses, love rituals, and protective charms, each with a set cost. The poor spent what little they had, believing protection could be purchased. The rich bought stronger miracles. Behind the stalls, priests and sellers formed silent partnerships. When nothing changed, blame fell on the believer. Doubt became another purchase. It wasn't faith alone, it was an economy, built on hope and fear. Because behind the marketplace stood those who controlled it, and they used magic to justify power and wealth. This is number 11, shamans and spirits. Across ancient societies, some leaders ruled not by force, but by belief. They said the spirits spoke through them. Every success, every disaster, became evidence of their power. In many communities, no decision was made without them. War, justice, crops, life, death, all passed through a single voice. A sentence spoken in ritual became unquestionable truth. Reality was whatever the shaman said it was. Authority came from belief, not proof, and belief protected the one who spoke for the spirits. Faith shaped behavior. Behavior shaped reality. It wasn't the spirits, it was power, carried inside faith. But in some places, spiritual authority did not stand alone. It worked side by side with political power. You're watching History Fact Story. Dark history told with truth and evidence. If this work matters to you, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Now, we continue. This is number 10, magic in warfare. Before swords were raised, armies sought blessings. Symbols promised victory, destiny, protection. Records show commanders used ritual to increase confidence and break enemy fear. Chants unified the army. Fear turned into certainty. Opponents saw divine power, and doubt spread. Prophecies were announced before the battle began. Confidence became a weapon. Doubt became defeat. Victory was credited to faith, not strategy. The cycle continued. It wasn't supernatural strength. It was psychology, turned into force. But in some battles, magic wasn't used for courage. It was used for control, inside the ranks themselves. This is number 9. The secrets buried in tombs. For thousands of years, the dead were guarded by words of fear. People believed curses protected the tomb from the living. But many tombs also contained hidden passages, trap blocks, and locking systems. Practical defenses built by engineers. Curses frightened intruders. Engineering stopped those who did not listen. Tombs weren't just burial sites. They were archives of identity, wealth, and memory. Protecting the tomb protected status and legacy. The fear felt supernatural. The purpose was practical. It wasn't magic. It was engineering, psychology, and protection through fear. But some secrets were not buried with the dead. They were kept by the living. and guarded in silence. This is number 8. Women, witchcraft, and fear. Across the ancient world, some women carried knowledge, medicine, survival, strategy, and when that knowledge challenged tradition, it became dangerous. Historical cases show many were branded witches, not for magic, but for independence, leadership, or authority. A woman who questioned power became a threat. Rumor did what law could not. Ordinary items were renamed evidence. Fear replaced truth. Authority remained untouched. Wisdom was silenced. It wasn't witchcraft, it was fear, used to control the lives of women. And in some places, accusations were not born from fear alone. They were designed to protect those who held power. This is number 7, stories that became truth. Across the ancient world, history was not written. It was remembered, and remembrance could be shaped. Over generations, stories were edited, softened, exaggerated, or rewritten until memory no longer matched reality. Failures became victories, shame became honor, and myth became truth. No one remembered the change. Only the story remained. What people believed shaped who they became, and identity replaced evidence. It wasn't deception alone. It was memory, rewritten by time. But some stories were not changed by accident. They were rewritten on purpose. This is number 6, the silent societies. Across the ancient world, not all rituals were public. Some were reserved for the elite. Initiates swore lifelong secrecy, forbidden to reveal what they saw, or even speak the language of the ritual. The public believed in wonder. The elite understood structure and strategy. Power was reinforced where no one could question it. Knowledge became a boundary, and secrecy became control. It wasn't magic, it was power, hidden behind ritual walls, because some rituals did not just exclude the public. They rewrote the rules of knowledge itself. You're watching History Fact Story, where hidden truths from the past are revealed with real history. If this journey matters to you, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now we continue. This is number 5, between ritual and manipulation. Ritual began as faith and unity. Then rules were added. In many cities, missing a ritual meant fines, exclusion, or public shame. Faith slowly became pressure. Obedience became virtue. People acted not from belief. They acted from fear. Ritual shaped behavior. Behavior reinforced control. And somewhere in that space, faith crossed the line. The ritual remains, but choice is gone. It was behavior controlled through belief. Because once belief shaped behavior, it could be used to shape entire societies. This is number 4, ancient illusions of authority. Across the ancient world, power was seen before it was understood. Crowns, robes, masks, emblems. Many symbols were ordinary objects, wood, cloth, metal, transformed by ritual meaning. Obedience began before words were spoken. Symbols created distance, and distance created power. The object represented law. Without it, they were just another human. With it, people followed without question. Authority could be transferred, even when experience could not. Power rested in the appearance of power. It wasn't magic. It was obedience, triggered by symbols. And in some places, symbols were not only worn, they were used to rewrite the meaning of power itself. This is number 3, the shadow side of hope. Across the ancient world, life was fragile. Famine, war, disease, loss. When nothing else remained, people reached for belief. Many charms were not symbols of power, but objects of comfort, created by people with nothing left to control. Hope filled the space where answers didn't exist. Belief softened grief when reality did not. Magic wasn't only control. For many, it was the last form of hope. And hope became tradition. It wasn't supernatural strength. It was courage, disguised as faith. But when hope became the only answer, it opened the door for those who learned how to use it. This is number 2, what magic truly was. Across the ancient world, magic seemed supernatural. But behind the miracles were systems. Fear shaped obedience, knowledge shaped authority, symbols shaped behavior, psychology shaped experience, emotion shaped loyalty, economy shaped belief, and secrecy protected the system. Magic wasn't a single force. It was many forces working together. And when people believed the illusion, power moved in silence. It wasn't supernatural. It was human, fragile, brilliant, and dangerous. But there is one final truth. The greatest secret behind ancient magic was not what people believed. It was why they believed it. You're watching History Fact Story, where hidden truths are told with real history. If this work matters to you, like, subscribe, and comment. It truly helps this channel grow. Now, the final truth. This is number 1, the last secret. We changed the rituals, but not the beliefs. Power still uses symbols, emotion, fear, identity, and ceremony. Just as it did thousands of years ago, people still gather, still follow, still believe in meaning they cannot see. Authority still speaks through image and presence, not proof. And when the world becomes uncertain, we still reach for hope. Magic never vanished. It simply changed its form, because the real force was never the rituals. It was us. Ancient magic never died. It lives wherever belief shapes reality.